Sea of Thieves, the ultimate open-world pirate adventure game, had launched back in 2018. Whether you're looking to live out your pirate fantasies, hunt for treasure, or even steal from other players, this game has it all. At its peak, Sea of Thieves hit over 66,000 players, and while the numbers have settled at around 15,000, the fun is still going strong. From intense PvP action to heart-pounding PvE moments, and even some chill fishing vibes, there's something for every type of gamer. Stick around as we explore all the different ways you can play and enjoy this incredible game through different playstyles. In the rest of the video, we'll dive deeper into the three main playstyles: predatory, passive, and conflict-averse players. These categories focus on how players approach the game rather than their goals, such as earning money or achieving merit. The video will explore how these playstyles are distinct, with a clear set of criteria that separate them from one another. We'll break down the specific traits and behaviors that define each playstyle, ensuring there's no overlap and offering a comprehensive understanding of how each one fits within the broader spectrum. First, the predatory player. According to my research done by survey, the most popular playstyle is the predatory player. This can be categorized by people going out of their way to sink and kill other players no matter how much loot they have on their ship. This infers that no matter how much they value their ship, they would sacrifice it in pursuit of the thrill of the fight. According to one of the responses on the survey, a memory that always gives them nostalgia is sneaking up on a galleon with a keg rowboat and blowing them up. This shows how different players find joy in different things, communicating that people enjoy the thrill of the battle. These players could be influenced either by satisfaction of lowering the anchor of the enemy ship, or from landing cannonball hits, as each time you land a cannonball shot, music plays for each hit in a continuing melody. Just because a player will occasionally go out of their way in a pursuit of PvP does not necessarily mean that that player's playstyle is predatory. Next up is the passive player. To classify the playstyle of a passive player, they would show characteristics of someone who picks and chooses when to run or fight. In this situation, the player holds their ship at a high value, either because of treasure or resources. They would assess the situation to determine how good the enemy crew is and then choose to fight or run. Conversely, if this same player doesn't hold their ship at a high value, they would choose to attack or fight back because they have nothing to lose. When asked what their preferred playstyle was on the survey, one of the players responded with largely passive unless otherwise required, inferring that passive players mind their own business unless threatened by other ships/players, reinforcing the criterion for the passive player. Another reason the criteria for this passive playstyle is solidified is because, according to my research of Sea of Thieves Let's Plays, I found from Sea of Thieves as a new player in 2024, the player in this video runs from other ships in pursuit of selling their treasure. This shows that because the player held the value of their ship higher, they chose to run away to sell rather than stay and fight. Just because someone occasionally runs away from conflict doesn't make them a conflict-averse player, but it does mean they can't be a predatory player. Finally, the conflict-averse player. A conflict-averse player can be recognized by their nature to run away no matter the value they hold their ship at. Some of these players enjoy pursuing quests, fishing for rare species, and collecting rare meats, all while avoiding the conflict at any cost. These players are a rare occurrence to run into on the seas because they try to avoid interaction with other players. This classification is solidified when considering the response from the survey about what playstyles they believed they played by, where one of the players responded with adventurer, inferring that conflict-averse players are seeking the adventure through different methods that exclude PvP. These players also like to enjoy other aspects of the game, such as PvE or pursuing tall tale completions. To wrap things up, it's important to remember there is an occasional overlap between my classifications and very circumstantial events. One of these events can include when a player who usually plays under the predatory playstyle chooses to change it up and goes to a conflict-averse playstyle. In this situation, while it may seem as if they were considered a passive player, they would still be a predatory player because they are only switching for a limited amount of time. Now, in the circumstance where a passive player holds their ship at a high value and pursues all the battles to get the thrill of the battle, they would still be considered a passive player because it is only temporary. Overall, playstyles match the player's goals. If a player wants to get as much gold and reputation as possible, they would probably follow a passive playstyle. But if the player's goal is to have fun through fighting other players, then they would follow a predatory playstyle. If a player wants to chill out and relax by embracing the environment of the game, they would probably lean towards a passive or conflict-averse playstyle. Understanding these nuances helps us appreciate the variety of approaches players take, depending on what they're hoping to get out of the game. Thanks for watching, and I hope this clears up some of the complexities behind different playstyles. And also, all references and works cited are in the description.